Too Bad She's Dead by Ian Hellraizer. It was a dark and stormy night. No, really, it was. Those are the words running through my head as I sit upon the grassy knoll overlooking the compound. My hand absently slips across the too long Kentucky bluegrass, and even though bored to the high heavens, my sharp eyes keenly survey all that is around. This would be the perfect night to reap a soul. At least I hope it is. But then, I always hope I get to kill something, so I guess technically every night is a good night for my favorite pastime. It's pitch black, for the clouds have draped the moon into obscurity. But my night vision is perfect, so I have no underlying concerns. I listen to the soft cadence of the crickets chirping and the bullfrogs in the nearby pond croaking out their songs. The sounds from the distant road are quiet tonight, with very few passers-by, which is normal for our secluded neck of the woods. This patrol seems to pass unbearably slow, and I'm feeling the penetrating need for blood. I need it. I need it on my hands and my hair, splattered across my chest. Hell, I want to bathe in it. Bloodletting is like the very air I breathe, essential to my existence. Just then, as the clouds roll away, revealing the bright full moon, I see her drive up. She's beautiful for a dead girl. Of course, she has no idea she's been marked for death. Yet. This beauty has come by the gate often, teasing and vexing my brother and me to no end. She's been warned more times than I care to count. This time, she'll understand the warnings, but it'll be way too late. I will have her soul tonight if this little bitch chooses not to backpedal her sweet ass on out of here by the time I reach the gates. I watch hungrily from the hillside while she steps out of her fancy little red MR2, wearing a thigh-high gray silk trench coat cinched only at the waist with a belt. The gentle breeze tugs at it, lifting and swirling, revealing sleek powder-white skin gleaming in the moonlight, a sharp contrast to the darkness around her. I'm oddly annoyed with her. To dispatch an enemy or just someone who deserves elimination is one thing, but this death is completely needless. How the fuck this female cannot get it through her thick, empty skull that hellhounds are not to be toyed with ever is totally beyond me. Perhaps I've been too lenient with her. Setting my notorious grin carefully into place, I slip my trademark aviator sunglasses over my glowing blood-red eyes and jog down to greet her. Waiting for me to reach the gate, she smiles seductively, opening her coat wide to reveal a red garter belt and black thigh-high stockings, and nothing else. A low, irritable growl rumbles deep in my chest. Fuck it. Done. Over. Let the beast out. Jumping the fence with ease, I shove her into the car and nimbly slide in beside her, reaching over to casually play with a loose tendril of her hair. I'm in the driver's seat tonight, doll. We don't want to do this here. I have the perfect place just up the road where you'll be able to scream your little heart out and no one will hear you. Turning the key in the ignition, the engine cranks over with a low, gratifying purr. Slamming the low-slung car into gear, we tear out into the night, careening wildly down the back road, spitting rocks and debris behind us. The pungent, musky scent of her desire permeates the car and fills my nostrils. Giving her upper thigh a sensuous squeeze, I bark out a delighted laugh of anticipation, eager to commence. Her body trembles beneath my touch on the short drive to a small, secluded cabin known only to my brother Aaron and me. Once there, I slip my hand around her slender waist, allowing her to nervously chatter in my ear. She wants me. Too bad she's dead. With a Cheshire grin, I escort her into the living room and kneel before the redstone fireplace, starting a roaring blaze in its hearth. Make yourself comfortable, doll. I'm going to get us something to drink. She gives me an uncharacteristically shy smile and looks around the sparsely furnished man cave while I head to the kitchen, hell, anywhere but where she is, trying to keep my beast on its tight leash. The thought of ripping into her soft flesh makes me salivate. I stride over to the counter, quickly banging through some cabinets, searching for drinking glasses. Haphazardly setting 2 down on the marble countertop, I throw open the refrigerator door, deciding which of my available drink choices will be the easiest to prepare. Who the fuck am I kidding? There's no need to keep up this pretense. Slamming the door in frustration, I pace back and forth a bit. My beast is rearing his ugly head. It's still too soon. The sound of her voice, sweetly calling out my name in a sing-song fashion, forces a savage snarl from my lips. I turn, stalking back toward the living room. My arms braced on either side of the door frame, I see she has removed her trench coat and all that is beneath it. She's totally naked and willing. When her eyes catch me standing there, she taunts me by sweeping her hands over her curvaceous form and her perky breast with a smirk on that delicate face, swaying to some inane rhythm playing in that airhead of hers. Too bad she's dead. I stand in the doorway watching with a calculated stare. My chest harshly rising and falling irregularly. I am consumed, darkening with carnal lust for this female. Dragging my tongue over my canines, I boldly approach her. Snagging her into my muscular arms without hesitation, I pull her tightly against my broad chest. I drag my nails down her back to grasp her ass when she purrs for me, rocking her back and forth against my hardened erection. She's roughly thrown to the bearskin rug covering the hardwood floor and moans, shivering uncontrollably, begging to be taken. The beauty reaches for me, but I growl, no, flipping her to her knees. I do the touching, not you. Her body inadvertently stiffens with fear so palatable it permeates my senses. A wicked smile spreads across my face, and my fingers dive between her legs, knuckle deep in her folds. She's dripping wet for me. She rocks against my fingers, moaning, thinking she's going to get fucked like never before. Too bad she's dead. For a time, I toy with her, allowing her to think it's only her body I desire. My hands freely roam her tight ass and firm breasts. My tongue and canines taste her supple skin, grazing along her curves. The sounds of desire that escape her throat call to the beast that begs me to come out. My hand tangles roughly through her hair, and I yank her head back to ravage her mouth with mine. Her hips rock against me with a growing fervor. Too bad she's dead. My gums have that familiar ache of my massive canines pushing through. My growls become more guttural as my true nature emerges. I push her head to the floor, holding it captive with one foot. Her cute, rounded ass is a pretty presentation for my ready cock. Her groan of expectation and her body writhing beneath me sends my feral animal into high gear. At this point, I don't give a flying fuck which orifice gets reamed. Any will do just fine. With a deafening roar, I slam my full length into her, my girth stretching, ripping, tearing, until I'm buried to the hilt in her unsuspecting dry asshole. Her cries of pain serve to incite me to pull out, then slam deeper, over and over again, driving her body prone to the floor. Her back arches unnaturally when the pain of her shattering hips courses through her body. Her mouth opens in a primal attempt to release the pain. When I pull back on her hair, jerking her body until her head touches her ass, snapping her back with an audible crack, severing her spinal cord. Her pathetic screams pierce the night air, and I roar with laughter. You were warned, bitch. You wanted me, you got me. How you like me now? My vice-like jaws clamp down on her delicate throat, and with a savage twist of my head, I rip her fucking vocal cords out. Just before she's gone, I thrust my fist into her chest through the now gaping hole that was her throat, ignoring the spraying arterial blood to hold her still beating heart in my hand and squeeze it until it bursts. Her soul detaches from her body, and I snatch it mid-air with a laugh. Now morphing fully into beast form, her soul clutched tightly in my steel jaws, I transition to her final destination, a date in hell. The only thought left in my hellhound brain, she's dead. Who's next?